So after we prepare the journal entries for the business, we are now ready to go to step 3. Okay, so step 3 is posting. So the journal entries are then posted to the subsidiary and general ledgers, also known as the book of final entry. So we are going to observe double entry postings here. And therefore all debits and credits must equal. So all your debit entries must equal to all your credit entries. So the general ledger houses an account for each type of transaction. So for example, um, fixed assets, accounts payable, accounts receivable control, utilities, etc. The general ledger is divided into nominal ledgers for income and expenses and private ledger for assets and liabilities. So let's go ahead and post the journal entries to our general ledgers. So this is an example of a T account. We are going to use this to uh, record or to post the journal entries for Luna Law Office here. So as you can see, the T account resembles the general ledger of a business. So it consists of all the accounts under the assets, liabilities, and capital. So as you can see, the assets is on the debit side because the normal balances of assets and expenses are debit. So if you want to increase your assets, you'll have to debit it. And if you want to decrease it, you have to credit it. So, um, for example, you have a cash account. So, for example, you collected 10,000 from a customer. So that is how you'll debit cash and credit sales, for example. Let's put sales here. And you credit sales in the amount of 10,000. Okay, so the normal balance of your cash account, because it is an asset account, is 10,000. It is the debit side. It will always be on the left side of the account. The debit side is on the left side of the account. And the credit side, the normal balance of this, is on the right side of the account. Okay. So on the credit side, the right side of the account, we have the liabilities and capital. Liabilities and capital of has a normal credit balance. So if you want to increase your liability, for example, you will credit the liability. So for example, you purchased 5,000 worth of products from your vendor, you will credit uh, the liability. But if you paid, for example, 5,000, you will the whole amount of 5,000, you will debit the account. Okay? So let's say you'll debit accounts payable and credit cash. Okay, so now you have zero out your accounts payable, and that is the balance of your accounts payable. And for your cash, you have to get the difference, the debit and credit. So that would be 5,000. So in in essence, the general ledger facilitates the posting of all the transactions to a particular account. So we'll be grouping all the accounts that affects cash, all the asset accounts, all the liability account, and capital account. So after that, after the grouping, the postings of all the accounts to the particular uh, from the from the different transactions of the business, we are now ready to uh, prepare the trial balance. So let us now post all these journal entries to the accounts of the. So the first one is the May 1 transactions. We are going to post the first transaction. We'll debit cash of 50,000 and credit Luna Capital of 50,000. Debit 50,000 and credit Luna Capital 50,000. Okay. So next we have debit cash 100,000 and credit loans payable 50,000. 100,000. Credit 100. 100. So let's okay. So the next one, we should debit office supplies and office furnitures and equipment and credit cash. So debit office supplies to 5 and office furnitures and equipment to 85. Office supplies. And this one, 8,500. And credit cash in the amount of 11,000. So as you can see, decreases in assets are placed on the left side of the account, which is the credit side. So next we have rent expense and cash. Debit rent expense and credit cash of 750. So that would be here, rent expense 750 and credit cash of 750. Next we have income, debit cash of 25 and credit income of 25. Debit cash. Income. Let's go. Of 25. Is here. Okay. So next we have the same 90,000. Debit cash 90,000. Credit income of 90,000. And the last one, we have to debit utilities and salaries expense and credit cash. Utilities, how much is that? 2,000. And salaries expense, 3,000. And credit cash of 5,000. Okay. So we are now finished posting all the journal entries. So next we have to get the balances of each of the accounts. Mhm. So if an account has a debit and credit balance, you should get the difference to get the balance of the of that account at the end of the month. So let me try this one. So that would be this one minus the credit side. So the balance of your cash account is uh this one. So let's double and highlight. And the balance of your office supplies is this one. The balance of your office furniture and equipment is this one. Your rent expense is the same. Utility is the same. Sure. And the salary is the same. Mm. Your loans payable, the same. Luna capital, the same. And your income amounts to 115,000. That will be our income for the month of May. Okay, so let's go ahead and add everything. Total assets here. We have cash plus office supplies plus office furniture and equipment plus rent expense plus utilities and plus salaries expense. So we have the total of the asset side is 265,000. Okay, so we have here the liabilities in the amount of 100,000. And your capital here. On capital account, we have 50,000 and your total income. Okay, so that would be plus this one. Sorry. Okay. So our ledger is balanced. So after this, we are now going to prepare our trial balance. So remember that your debits should total all your credits.